Today we are going to talk about 7 cure for an empty wallet or empty purse. So this is the video of today, and if you're new to this channel, so the ideas that we are going to discuss today, they are going to come out of The Richest Man in Babylon. So when you read this book, you come across the idea, that the thing that you can actually apply to your life and that will make a difference. So I came across this thing called 7 Cure of a Lean Purse. So how do you improve your finances if you want to get have some financial freedoms? So what are the step by step that these people use that make a difference in their finances, or what make them to actually grow wealth? So we'll look at that. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe for more videos. So before we go ahead and get into the 7 cure of a lean purse, the main theme of this book is more of saving part of your money. And once you save part of your money, how do you invest it to really grow wealth? And then now you will be living off that wealth that you create, all the investment that you create, and all the ideas. The main theme is like a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Most of the time we do budgeting, we do all this thing, and we forget to budget into our wallet. So what we save become the last option when it actually should be the first option or part of our plan. So in this book, it suggested that you keep 1/10 of your income into your wallet and then spend 9/10 of your income for your expenses. So in this case, everything is taken care of, your savings taken care of, and your expenses are taken care of. So the reason why the percentage varies too much is because we have a lot of expenses. So it's better you start saving small, and then now maybe later on you can increase your saving when you see like you're meeting all your expenses and you still have money left every time. So in this case, this person is saving like 1/10 of 4,260, and which means every month consistently they will be saving $426. Okay, and when it comes to how much they will now spend on their expense, it will be 3,834, too, which is a lot of money if depending on your family size. So here we will now go into learning about all this cure and step by step that were applied by the richest man in Babylon. So in this case, he encouraged that people seek wisdom first, how the rule, learn the rule before you do anything, because there's a habit that people do. They hear about something, they go out and do it without even knowing the rule of that thing. So, and good example is that the stock market. Like a lot of people always, when you meet people, you hear them crying that they lost money in the stock market, and the reason was is like they get in without learning the rule. So in this book, you are encouraged to build your wisdom about how that thing is done before you do it. Okay, the riches of the Babylon of that city were the result of wisdom people had acquired for years. So they had acquired wisdom from the people who had already experienced building wealth. So they learned step by step, and then they apply that wisdom to create their own. So they first had to learn how to become wealthy. So that is what it is. So there are a lot of people who learned from people who had already done it, and they used those steps. So one of the people who had done it and they grow themselves and they grow their wealth was the richest man in Babylon. And these are his suggestion on how you can build your wallet, how you can really make something remain in your wallet when you are earning income. So how do you, one step, the first one is you have to start let your wallet to fatten. So making your wallet to fatten, you need to have income. So income can come from job, income can come from business, and maybe inheritance, but a lot of people don't get that. So majority of people get their income from job, because nowadays even business don't work, some of them don't really work, so people get their income from job. So you need a source of income to create fortune. So after that, now what do you do? How do you really make your wallet to fatten to start time? So under this step is that once you want that, so you go back now to our previous point that every part of your money, the part of your money that you hand is for you to keep. So 1%, 1/10 of your money you hand, you have to keep it for your wallet, whether you have large income or you have small income, it like you have to do it in that percentage. So the amount that you save will be different, but at least you're saving something. Part of your honey goes to your wallet and the rest of for use. So you have to allocate your money if you want to see a little bit difference. If you're that kind of person who is like always working and everything is going out and you're left negative, and then you need to do something, there are some of the expenses that you actually don't need, but you keep paying for them. So large part of your earning has to be to your wallet. And then the second point is control the expenditure. Because if you have too many things coming out of your wallet, and then it means like you will have nothing left at the end of the day. But the strategy that we use to save money here is not the one that you have to deal with expenses first. You have to deal with saving first. And the saving first, the 1/10 has to go into the wallet before you do any kind of expenses. And in this case, someone is asking that, how can a man keep 1/10 of all the earnings in the purse when all the coin hands are not enough for his necessary expenses? So this is what really actually this kind of question is what really keep us from building wealth, because most of the time we keep creating a lot of expenses, still creating a lot of expenses, we paying for them, going back and forth, all this and this and this, and at the end of the day the wallet is empty. We have not saved anything. We wish that we will get a larger income later so we can do all the things that we do, but it's not about income, because whenever you get increase in income, your expenses will equally also increase, because your desire will also grow, and when they grow you still want to cater them, and when you cater them nothing is left in your wallet. So it has nothing to do with the coin not being enough for the saving and for the use. Is the mindset. So it's the mindset. So if you want to save, you can save and contest against expenses that are not necessities. The necessities you cannot do without them. So those one come as second priority after your saving. And then number two, the expenses that you can do without them, you can contest against some of them. Because like you don't need like 10 dresses or maybe 3 dresses. You don't need like every week that you're buying like new shoes, that maybe depend with the lifestyle and also depend with what person really value, what do they really want, do they value their freedom later? And if they value their freedom, and then they will see that there's no need of buying new clothes every week or every month, right? And they will put the money to the right place. So those are the kind of expenses that you can really actually contest against, things that you can do without, like clothes. If you buy clothes, not too many of them. Some people are shoppers addict. So when you're in that situation, you won't be able to also to save money, because your mindset is that every time you have money, you're going to shop. So it's not an issue. We don't have to not save because we feel like we are not making money. We are making enough money. So 1,000, that's still enough money. You can also like maybe increase your earning potential so you can have more money to save, right? But it doesn't really depend on how much money you make. It depends on your mindset and your priorities. So the hard points here that explain that you don't have to have you don't have to cater for all your desires. You can cater for your necessities and leave the other ones out until maybe they will be part of those big desires that you might never even like fulfill after, right? Necessities expenses will always grow to equal our income unless we protest against the contrary, right? So it doesn't matter. Some people can earn a lot of money, but their expenses also increase. So at the end of the day, they're not saving anything. And why were we saving in the past place? We're saving so we can save some little bit of financial freedom. And if you don't want that, and then you can go ahead and spend your money and live paycheck to paycheck. Doesn't matter. Hence, some earn much more than others. Some have much larger families. This to explain that sometimes it's not even about like how much you make, but it's about how much you keep. Some people can have more bigger families, but they can still manage to save because they know how to manage the money, or they don't buy a lot of unnecessary expenses that they don't need, right? And some people can have smaller families, but they have too many expenses that really take their money. So it doesn't really matter. So you have to follow the allocation method of of managing your money, right? Allocation method of managing your money, saving first, and then expenses take the rest of the money that left, and the necessities come first, and then the rest of the desire, the unlimited one, can now come after. Control the expenditure. We're still on page 2. Number 2. So all the earnings, so like if you have more desire than your earnings can gratify, but there will be more ungratified desire. It doesn't matter. Like you can have that huge income, and then the expenses, the desire keep growing, keep growing. At the end of the day, you won't be able to satisfy all of them. You can't gratify it all. I love your desire. So reduce. So what is suggested in this book is that you need to reduce your expenditure on desire that are not necessities. I think I've said this point over and over again. You reduce your expenditure on desire that are not necessities. Like for me now, like the place I rent, I feel like that's what I need at this point, so I can save the money, but maybe later on I could get a bigger one. So it depends on what really you need, right? at that point. Reduce your expenditure on desire that are not necessities. So when we are still on this expenditure part, because that's what really take our money, right? So we need to understand that we don't have to gratify all our desire. We can take care of the necessities. And when there's not too many expenses coming out of our bucket of income, we will be left with more money to save or more money to invest. Select those that are necessary and others that are possible through the expenditure of 9/10. So the 9/10 is the one income part that you're giving to your expenses, but the 1/10 is going to your saving or your expense or your investment. So you select those that are necessary and others that are possible through the expenditure of 9/10 of income of your income. Okay. Remove those that you cannot gratify everything. So necessities, pay them. The rest will follow when you have something left. But the 1/10, let it stay in your wallet. Don't ever touch it. Cross out the rest and consider them but a part of a great multitude of desire that you can never reach, right? So those excuses, you say, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and by the end of the day, you have no money left in your wallet. Those are the desire that they are multitude. Next week, next year, you do the same thing, that one, and it become a habit, and forever you're broke, right? So we don't want that to happen. We do like the 10th for saving, 1/10 of our income for saving, and 9/10 for expenses, and do not touch the 1/10 of your income that is fattening your wallet. You do not need to touch that. So the 1/10 in your wallet, forget about it. Don't even think like you have money in that wallet. Budget show up. And the reason why we're doing that, the budget of all the necessities, expenses, it shows like where is our money going. Let's say, for example, you get your money, put it in the bucket, and now you're opening all the expenses to leave the bucket. Do you have something that will be left there after you open out the expenses? So when you write down all the expenses, the necessary expenses that you are spending your money on, you really actually know where is your money going, right? So after now you save your 1/10, right? You have that 1/10 of your income in your wallet. What do you do with it? Because money, fiat money, this one, paper money, all this coin, they lose value with time, right? So when they lose value with time, if they lose value with time, you need to not just save it and keep it there, because when it loses value in time, you will be the same as the person. You will be worse off than the person that have not saved their money. At least they spend it on all the things that they want. But now you save your money, it sits there, it doesn't do much for you, and it loses value. Okay. So now how do you invest the money so it can keep growing? Let the money work for you. So that's the point. Number 3, means to put you have to look for means to put the treasure to labor and to increase. Put that money into work. Even if it's like handing you little, it's better than it sitting around without earning anything. Okay. Saving that are not earning interest or dividend is nothing. Let your money work to earn. So you save your money, look for the tray where to put the treasure, and you have to be sure about where you're putting your hard-earned money, because you don't want to just throw it and it become like other people's, right? So you look for it, save it, and make it work for you. Let it earn interest, let it earn dividends, all those stuff. Okay. Don't put your money into investment you are not familiar with. So this is a warning. Like a lot of people back in 2020, they lost money because now 2020, everyone was getting into Bitcoin, everyone was getting to all these new things that were going on, stock market and all these things, and people just get their money and run into stock market without learning the rule. They don't understand how it's work, and then when it goes there, you lose the money. Then now you run away and you don't want to go back anymore. So at this point, saving will be not even something that you have to think about, because if you save and you don't know where to put the money to grow for you, and then you see like, oh, it doesn't make sense, let me just spend my money. Okay, so do not put your investment into things that you are unfamiliar with. Okay, so you better even seek like guidance from professional, all those things. Let your treasure, let your goal, let your money work for you. So this is point number 3. Now let's define what is wealth, right? Wealth is a constant flow of income into your wallet from your investment, whether you're working or not. Okay, so this kind of mindset is what some of us we're going after. We don't have to work forever. Maybe you can work and save, invest, and then later on you can now work on your own terms, doing things that you are passionate about, doing things that you don't have to report and run after or go and talk, deal with the managers, co-workers, or all those stuff. Okay, so you have to build incomes into income that will flow into your wallet without you working, and this income has to come from investment. Create many sources of income. We create for people nowadays things that I've seen around, people like create wealth from different industries or investment. Some people, they invest in real estate, others they invest in stock market, others they invest in physical business, like the brick and mortar business where they do retail and all those stuff. Others they do they buy land that they can all later on sell it to contractors and all those people. So there's a lot of things that you can invest in. The only thing that you need to do first is learn the rule, learn how it works. But when you learn the rules, you will be able to understand how to manage risk, how to stay afloat when there's problems, there's challenges, all those stuff, because there's nothing that come easy. Nothing come easy. So you have to learn the rule before you do your investment. Increase your capital and its earnings. Reinvest it if you don't need the money now. Let it compound. The beauty of compound interest, if you have ever been in finance class and you calculate those things, how you have the principal, it earn interest, and the next time your interest and your principals are earning more interest, and then next time the interest and the interest and the other interest plus the principal are earning more income. So that's how it works. So the mentality of compound interest, and maybe if you want the money for retirement, by the time it will be your retirement, it will have increased and could sustain you for the rest of your life. Number 4 now is guard the treasure from loss. Why do we already now we have saved part of our income, and then now we manage to not overspend our money. We are guiding our expenses. We are trying to deny ourselves this luxury. And number 3, we have the money, we invested into things. We have to guard the treasure, because it can easily be lost. And when it's lost, it's like you have done nothing. All the other 4 things, or the other 3 things that you went through, they're nothing. Like, it's all screw up. Even some people can lose their mind because they have lost the wealth that they worked so hard for. So you have to guard the treasure from loss. Guard your goal with firmness, else it can be easily lost. Learn to secure small amount before we can handle big one. This would mean if you have your treasure, you have your money, you have saved your money and you want to invest it, right? Be invested in investment that you are sure of so you don't lose your treasure. Once you're now experienced on handling those things, now you can now go for bigger one. For bigger one, don't get excited and you want to like do more, and then later on it's out of hands and you cannot manage your risk properly. So the book is encouraging you that you have to do secure amount. If then now your confidence will build from there and there. Like when I started investing in the stock market, so I started small. So I actually started with RSP account because I know that's registered, and I started investing in small non-risky stock. So that one now give me the experience. And when I'm switching to swing trading, I know how to manage the risk, how to tell when the price is going to go up and when the price is going to come down, and how I can take opportunities, right? Avoid tempting flexible projects or be tricked by large hunting until you have knowledge about it. This is what I just explained now. Be comfortable hunting small amount and then learn. Once you learn and you learn the rule, you can now go after like big returns because you know the rule, right? Guard the treasure from loss. Okay, we're still on this point. So we're still on this point. So for every investor, every person who is dreaming of becoming a sophisticated investor, so the first rule that they have to learn is the first sound is the principle. If the principle of your investment can be recovered, and then that investment is safe, right? So the safer is better because the principle is your treasure. Now you don't want to lose it. It's better you bring it back with no earnings or no interest or no dividend than to lose it. So do not lose your treasure. So sound principle of investment is security for the principal. That is number 1 rule. You have to be investing your money, but know that the investment that you are putting your money in are not going to screw you up. The principal can be recaptured. Don't trust brickmaker. In this case, they are giving example on like how you should not get advice from people who don't have experience when it comes to investment, right? Maybe they could have the information, but once you get the information, you can now go and do your due diligence of doing your own research, learning the rule before you invest. But if you go and trust the brickmaker to buy your jewel, they might go and buy you some shiny metal that are not actually the real gold, right? Because they don't have the experience when it comes to buying jewels. Consult the wisdom of those who are experienced in handling money for profit. Because if you are in the money business, look for people who are experienced in that, not people who do other things. Those people can have the information, but you can do your own research, okay? got the treasure from loss. We're still on this point, and this is one more. So this point is summarized with this quote: got the treasure from loss by investing only where the principal is safe, where it may be reclaimed if desirable, and where thou will collect a fair rental. So like for me, when I want to invest, right, I can invest in the stock market, but the stock that I choose, I think that I feel like they are safe because I've done research, how long they have been in business, what do they provide, those things that they provide, product and services that they provide to the people, necessities, can people do without them or not? And if they are necessities, it shows that how they will still continue to do business, right? So in that case, I determine like that my principal is going to be safe. But when I'm picking stock, I'm not doing the growth stock because I want my money to be collecting some fair rental, like interest dividend every month. So at that point, even if I wait for the bigger return, I know I'm earning something on my money. Okay. This point all encourage people to buy a house. You can buy your house and make your dwelling a profitable investment. So this make the point that like your house is your investment, right? Even if at some economic condition it might not be investment, it depends on the situation. Like some houses that have become a liability to the owners depending on the individual situation. Like let's say for example you just bought a house, you had some little few savings and then you bought a house, and then all of a sudden you lose your job. So houses that you buy on a loan will make it they're more of liability. Yeah. So if you buy it on loan, you lose your job, and then now it would be like going into foreclosure where they have to sell it back because you cannot do make the payments, right? But if you have that solid income coming in, you're saving money, your 1/10 of your money, your build safe foundation for your finances, and then you can buy a house because you know like if anything happen sooner, and then you can pay, you can make the payment until you get your next job, right? So once you get the next job, you can continue to pay, and then after that you will be able to pay off the house, and the only thing that you can now pay back is the tax to the government, or on this side it was to the king, right? After you invest, you have a house, and at the end of the day you have something that your children can inherit with time, right? You can have something that your children can inherit with time. So own your home instead of paying landlord rent. Come many blessing. So this is a dream of some of us, or maybe it's a goal. It's a dream is to be goal. It's a goal for some of us. We have to get the house and make it profitable investment for the future. Come many blessing to the man who owns his own house, and greatly will it reduce his cost of living, making available more of his earning for pleasure and gratification. Like let's say once you pay off your house, right? Let's say you have paid off your house. So the amount of money that you were paying for rent can now go to your other things. Yeah, we know that we can pay taxes on the house properties and also maybe maintenance and all those stuff, but still it will really reduce the cost of living for you. If you don't have cash, you can use lenders and pay same amount over time, and after some time you will be done and have valuable asset, and the only cost will be tax to the king in this case. So what are we going to do now after that? We already invest, we save, we manage our expenses, and we have money, we have income coming out from our investment. So ensure a future income. So that goes back to the investment part, right? Once you're saving money, you also have to be thinking about what will happen when I get old, when I'm not going to be working, when I'm not going to be doing A, B, C, D. So what is going to happen? So you have to ensure against old age. Prepare suitable income in the days to come. For some people, once they save money, they buy land, they buy houses, they invest in stock, they invest in mutual fund, they do all those kind of things, and then hope that when time comes, they will be able to live comfortably and they won't have to go to work. Yeah. So that what happened, plan certain investment provision that may endure safety of many years, yet will be available when the time arrives. Buy houses, land for business that can provide future income. Okay, so like this one in Canada is very common. Like people, when you're working, you put your hope into pensions. And from my experience working at Cash Money, I have seen like seniors coming back to borrow money so that they can be able to keep up with their expenses, because now their pension is 700 and say 80 depending on the kind of job that you were doing when you were during your youthful time, right? So your pension now is 750 and the house rent now is 2,500, or maybe if you are someone who did not really invest in making your house making your dwelling a profitable place. So if you did not have that opportunity of buying a house, now you're renting a house or renting a place to sleep, to stay in when you're older and you're not working. Your pension is only 670 and the place now costs 2,500, because back in the days it used to cost 500 or whatever. So it becomes difficult for them to keep up with the inflation, keep up with the high prices of high cost of living, like higher rent, higher cost of food, and all those stuff. So if at this point you think like, oh, it's far away, in like retirement is far away, you don't know what will happen to you, you might not even reach retirement, whatever. All the time you can, anytime if anything happens to you, it goes to your kid. Yeah. So start saving and secure the future income due for your old age, right? Because you don't want to suffer when you're older, where you have to be looking for a job, but that one looking for a job and going back to work depends on individual, because other people will be healthy when they're older, others will not be healthy. Some people will be like sick, and if they have no one to take care of, they become a problem, right? So ensure a future income. Okay. Ensure a future income for your old age. That's the point. So some people can put their money into dividend stocks that pay them monthly, pay them bi-weekly, all those stuff. Those things will help them when they grow older. They can put their money in high interest. They can buy a house that they can rent now, collect cash, invest it in something else. They can do all sorts of things to ensure future income. And then ensure future income is still the point. And when you are investing for the future, what is it that you are taking advantage of? You're saving compounded over years. Yes, so compound interest come into place here, and it can grow your wealth depending on how you're planning your things, right? Saving and compounded over year. You do your saving, compounding them over years. Provide in advance for the need of the growing age and the protection of the family, right? Like you don't want to, when you leave, your kid is suffering because you are not financially prepared. So ensure a future income for your family. Increase the ability to earn. So this point should have been number 2 or number 2 actually, right? But we decided to put it at last because maybe once you are now doing all the 6 points and you still feel like this is going to take me forever to save and see it how it's going to help me, or it's going to take forever because the saving that I'm doing is so little. And then now you can think of increasing the ability to earn. Like if you have a job, do you want to start some hobbies that will pay you? Do you want to do something that will pay you to add onto your income? You sell stuff or you do hair or do, depending on the skill, all the skill that you have. So increase your earning potential. For some people, they go back to school and do higher learning. So the higher learning will give them more potential to get into higher income, right? So that's another way that they increase the ability to earn. So, but once you do that, you have invested more money, invest more time for higher learning for you to earn more. Now come back and earn the higher money, and then now apply our principle of 1/10 or and 9/10. So 1/10, now when you saving your 1/10, it will be a bit bigger than the previous one. But don't forget too, the more you had, the more you pay more taxes depending on the system. And for Canada, the system used progressive tax form. The higher you earn, the more tax you pay. So the tax will increase, tax bill will increase too, because tax is part of our expenses. Okay, so but increase the ability to earn. Even if you pay all those increase that come with higher income, you will still be better off. Have a desire to earn more, a proper and commendable desire, right? You want to earn more as long as you're doing it the right way, you're doing your own thing, nothing illegal forever. So you want a higher education, you go get a higher degree, and then you get more increase in your payment. If you're good at business, you can start selling your stuff and get more income. Or for some people who don't get tired, can get a second job and they do their second job and get more money. But the money that they had, they should have planned with it. Now is for investing. It's adding into the plan of achieving financial freedom. For man to wish to be rich is of a little purpose. For a man to desire 5 pieces of gold is tangible desire, which he can press to fulfillment, and more will follow and become wealthy. I like this quote. And why? It's because like most of the time we dream too big. Yeah. We want to be rich, but we are not doing the little thing that can really make you rich. Like how do you want to be rich when you are not really sticking into your saving plan of 1/10 and then 9/10? Because the riches does not really fall on people. Maybe other people inherit it, but for some of us, we have to work for it, right? So start by getting wealthy. And being wealthy mean like if you always have like a positive bank account, you're wealthy. You're 5% positive, you're wealthy. You're 10% positive, you're wealthy. Maybe next time you try to be 20% positive. Your bank account, you have to you have to keep it on positive notes. So if it's positive note all the time, you're wealthy. You're $20 wealthy. You're $30 wealthy. You're $100 wealthy. And then now once you do the investment and you start making something from the investment, you start having that excitement and the confidence, and you want to do more. So that's why for a man to desire 5 pieces of gold is a tangible desire. This is the goal that we call achievable. Draw achievable one. You see, it's not something that is too big, and at the end of the day, it's unreachable. Start with something that is achievable. Once you achieve that, you can now continue to grow it. Start with 5 pieces of gold, and then next time you will have 7, next time you will have 8, next time you have 9, next time you have 10, the next thing is 100, and you're not going closer to the desire of the richness that you might not reach if you don't do the small things that you need to do. So keep this quote in closer to you. So it's not just about money, even about other things that you can do in life. You have to make achievable goal. Set achievable goal, not so unorganized and then think that you cannot really actually reach, right? So do small. So this one I have learned that, and we are applying all this point that we have talked about, all the things, and when we summarize it now, we can summarize it now. So in this book, you have to keep part of your earning is for your wallet. It's not for everybody. It's not for H&M. It's not for all those 1/10 of your income into your wallet. And then you need to control your expenditure. Not all expenditure that you can meet every month. Necessities become the second priority. Your saving is your priority. Your necessities is your second priority. And your other expenditures can wait. If you buy 2 dresses, designers dresses, or something else that you like, why not buy one, leave the other one? So, and then number 3 is after you save money, what do you do with it? You have to invest it, put it to work, let it work for you. Once it works for you, and then the thing number 4 is you got the treasure. Don't lose your money because you're being careless. You're just getting into investment that you have no idea how they work. You don't learn the rules. You have to learn the rules before you do any kind of investment. That is number 4. Number 5 is that you have to make your dwelling a profitable investment. So when you have that small stability of saving, you have something to fall on, you have emergency funds, you have all those stuff. You can buy your house, you can buy your dwelling, and then now make it profitable. As you pay it down, the value of the house can increase. Number 2, once you finish paying, it will reduce the cost of living for you. And then number 6 is you have to ensure future income. What happens when you grow older? Do you go back to work, or do you live comfortably and then do vacation, donate to your favorite charity, whatever, all those stuff that old people do, right? Or do you go back to work? Do you go and do affidavit and say like I'm younger so you can work because you cannot afford the living? No, you have to ensure your future income. And then the last one is to increase the ability to earn. Because if you want this kind of financial freedom to happen first, you have to put more effort inside. If you're doing a full-time job and you feel like you have the energy, you can do a part-time job. If you want, you can go back to school and increase your knowledge or skill about some things, and then at your work they might give you more higher raise or higher payment, depending on whatever you want to do as individual. But that brings us to the end of the video. So now when we are increasing that amount, it depends on whatever you want to do with it. You can have earning potential. Other people use their hobbies. They can cook on YouTube and do whatever, and then earn income. They can do hair. They can go back to work and do a job, other things. In learning to secure his own defined small desire, he's training to secure a large one, right? You have to learn, continue learning. Other people do self-learning, and that one also pay them back. Others can go back to school, increase their degrees, whatever, and they get more earning. Others who are very good at entrepreneurship, they sell something and they increase their earnings. Desire must be simple and defined. They defeat their own purpose should they be too many, too confusing, or beyond a man training to accomplish. This is a very valid point, right? You have to have simple desires. Simple desire. If you want 5 pieces of gold, go for it. Next time you will have the confidence, okay, I can get 10. Oh, okay, I can get 20. But if they are too many, too confusing, and I think me personally, I have this problem. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then I end up finding myself on a crossroad of so many things that I cannot really handle. So, and most of the time I can only see the results when I have narrowed it down, right? So don't make your desire to be too many, too confusing, because you will run out of energy and you have no focus on the real things. So this book is actually has been a blessing for me, and I'm still digging on it, and I'm going to present more information on this book before we close it and get to another book, right? Always willing to learn, and learn from people who have already done it before, okay? To increase your earning potential. This one is for people who don't like work. If you don't like work, you want to earn money, you want to invest, and you want to do this, right? That thing is not going to come. You have to love your job because that's what is giving you money that you want to come and invest, right? That's me. I thought, like, if I do business, going to work and work and work, but if it doesn't work, you go to work, be more interested in your work, more concentration upon my tasks, more persistent in my effort. The more wisdom, the more we earn. That is the man that the man who seek to learn more of his craft should be richly rewarded. Okay, so the more wisdom we have, like this, something we learn as we go. He may console and exchange knowledge with others of his calling, right? So like this book encourage people that you want money, so work. You are going to work, you have to be more interested in your work, more concentration upon your tasks, more persistent in my effort. What is then motivating you? And all these things will only come to you when you have defined your purpose. You have to define your purpose first. What is it that you want? What do you want to do? So once you want to do, like if I am here and I want financial freedom, I want to reach some point where I don't have to work. I should do my hobbies and all this stuff, but still there's money coming from my investment. So now how do we build those investment become the next question. If we build investment, we need money. How do we earn money? A job or a business? Can you do business? Have businesses succeed before? Have you tried any ideas? So the easier way become the job. So when you go to job, you have to be interested and do all these things because you need to continue earning, right? So that definition, when you have defined your purpose, it really change everything, your attitude toward your work, your effort. Like some people can even come without like sleeping overnight and then they come and sleep a few hours and they run again because you're working for that future thing, right? So that's it. Increase the ability to hunt. So I didn't know, like I made all this big points on this last step or last cure of a lame person. Must pay his debt. You have to pay your debt because if you're building investment, you have to know that you're not losing part of your income that you're earning, right? Even though sometimes it's good to also leverage so you can grow fast. But usually people want to pay the debt with all the promptness within his power, not purchasing that for which he is unable to pay. Do not purchase stuff. Nowadays, the retailers, they do this thing, pay, buy now, pay later. That one also like take money out of your pocket because you have to pay, when you're paying later, you have to pay it with interest, right? Because it's taking long for you to give them back your cash and they are aware of inflation. So do not purchase those that you can afford. Must make a will of a record. So like we are living life and this life, this earth is not ours. You can leave anytime. You can leave maybe when you're old, you can leave when you're youth. All those stuff can happen to anything. So write a will. Anything that you have built, say like, oh, this thing is going to my kid, this one is going to my husband, this one is going to my mother, all the stuff. Other than that, you close the chapter. And if you build and you are satisfied with your thing, you have enough for your family, you can also extend your hand to and help others. You can make people achieve their goals and do all those things. Cultivate your power, right? Cultivate your purpose. Must have compassion upon those who are injured and submitted to misfortunes, aid them, right? Like you cannot help the society or build society if you don't have money, right? That's the truth. You can help people with ideas, encourage them, all those stuff. But all the dreams that need money, it will be helpful if you can help someone to achieve their goal. Like some people can get scholarship and they achieve their dream, right? And if you liked what you just watched, subscribe for more videos. I don't think that